Hey, I'm Terry from EverydaySober.com, and I'm a recovered alcoholic. Today I'm going to talk to you about a very personal topic, hitting rock bottom. Before I got sober, I lost just about everything, including almost losing my life, all due to my alcohol use. So I heard that most people that have a serious alcohol problem can't, or more accurately, won't get sober permanently until they hit rock bottom. And unfortunately, it's what often and usually happens. So what do you think? Do you think you need to hit rock bottom before you can be successful at sobriety? Because I say absolutely yes. Maybe you're thinking, no frickin' way. I can quit anytime, especially long before I've hit rock bottom. Well, look at your past. If you have a problem with alcohol, you've probably tried to quit, right? Did it work? I'm thinking if you're watching this, it probably didn't work. I totally hit rock bottom before I got sober. Well, I should say before I got sober and developed some lasting sobriety. I had lots of consequences from drinking throughout the years, but I still would not stop drinking. They started with things as small as being hungover at work. Every time this happened, I swore I would not drink too much if I was working the next day. But I always did it again. The hangovers happened more and more. I could deal with these hangovers and keep drinking without too many consequences for a couple of decades. But my tolerance for alcohol was going up. I started to hide my drinking from my wife and my friends because I didn't want them to accuse me of drinking too much. And then they'd make me cut back, or worse, quit. I put so much effort into hiding. It was crazy. Eventually, my wife caught on to my drinking in secret. I had to come up with all sorts of stupid lies to cover my tracks. I actually thought the lies were working. Eventually, she left me because of those lies and the fact that I was in love with the bottle more than her. When this happened, slowing or quitting drinking, it wasn't even a factor. I felt I was now free to drink as much as I wanted. I drank a lot. My tolerance and need for alcohol was going up and up. I showed up to work hungover many times. Now, did I stop drinking? Nope. I wasn't anywhere near a bottom. I fixed this hangover problem by simply drinking before work. Eventually, I got to the point where I just basically drank all the time. And probably not surprising, I lost that job. Soon after that, I got into trouble with drinking while driving. They took my license. Did I stop drinking? Again? Nope. I sobered up to take the driving classes that I was ordered to take. I went to a few 12-step meetings. But other than that, I drank all the rest of the time, and I rode my bicycle everywhere I needed to go. I hadn't hit bottom. I was fine. At this point, I still had a few friends that I enjoyed spending time with, especially friends that I cycled with. But I needed alcohol all the time. So I would drink before riding. I mean, I'm sure they knew I was drinking, but no one ever said anything. I wanted so bad to hang with these friends without being drunk and having to pretend that I wasn't. But I just couldn't do it. So rather than stop drinking, I just stopped hanging out with any friends. So, I lost my wife because of my drinking, and I didn't quit. I lost my job due to drinking, and I didn't quit. I lost my license due to drinking, and I didn't quit. I lost my friends due to drinking. I didn't quit. I even injured myself a few times due to drinking, and once again, I didn't quit. I think that was getting to be a pretty low bottom. But was it rock bottom? Well, let's see. I lost my wife, job, car, and friends. But I still had a house and some money. But I was worried. I could see a trend. I thought about quitting alcohol, so I tried to quit. I went to a 30-day rehab. When I went to the rehab, I was in super bad shape. I mean, ask anyone there, I'd hit bottom. It took a while before I could move beyond just mere existence. But I slowly got better. I got out of rehab and was revitalized. I was ready for the world. I went to 12-step meetings. Of course, I didn't do anything they suggested. And within 1 month, I tried one drink. And 1 day later, I was back to more than a liter of hard alcohol a day. But I had hit bottom, I thought. I mean, you really should have seen me. I was a mess. Well, now I was even more of a mess. Everyone thought I was sober, and they were super happy for me. But in reality, I was in misery because now I needed more alcohol than ever. I couldn't let them know because they would be so disappointed in me. I looked like some sort of a loser. So I decided to quit drinking again. Only this time, to avoid embarrassment, I decided to quit on my own, without help. I had a bunch of seizures, and I almost died. I spent a couple of weeks on life support, but eventually, I woke up again and decided to quit drinking again. This ended up being my rock bottom, almost dying. Actually, if you really think about it, my rock bottom could have been lower. I could have lost my dog, I could have lost my family, I could have lost my home, and I could have lost my life. But that is where my bottom was, almost dying. So with that in mind, what defines rock bottom? I'm thinking rock bottom is where the next thing you will lose is actually more important than the bottle. For me, the next thing that I was going to lose was my life. Life became more important to me than the bottle. Unfortunately for many, that's just not the case. And some people end up losing their life because their rock bottom ends up being death. I mean, that's the utter reality of this disease. But there is good news here, whether you've hit rock bottom or not. You don't have to go through all the crappy things that I went through to get sober. You can change where your rock bottom is. Look at it this way. Say your life's an elevator ride. We want to live on the upper floor with a nice view and a beautiful penthouse suite. Most of us live around the ground floor. It's okay. Things are going pretty good most of the time. But when alcohol starts to become a problem, the elevator takes us down a couple of floors. We constantly try to clamber our way back up to the higher floor, but alcohol keeps taking us down. Maybe we get back up because we controlled our alcohol for a while, but then we start drinking in excess again, and we go down even lower. This is what happens with alcoholism. We start with some consequences, and they start to happen more and more, and they get worse and worse. Or worse yet, we have a horrible consequence right away, but think it was a one-time thing, and we're okay with our drinking. But alcoholism is a fatal disease. It will eventually take us down to the bottom floor, which could be the grave. The important thing here is to recognize the progression. You can get off the elevator of alcoholism anytime, long before it gets to the bottom floor. Now, most people in the grips of alcohol abuse, they can't or they won't recognize this progression. And they wait far too long before they get off that elevator ride down to get sober. It's hard to recognize when you need to sober up for good. But you can look at the signs. I mean, let's be honest here. If you're watching this, you just might be questioning your alcohol use. Ask yourself these questions. Have you ever thought you needed to quit or cut back your drinking? Has your drinking affected your life, like your family, job, finances, or maybe even your health? Do you continue to drink despite negative consequences? I mean, you've got to be honest here. When you're not drinking, do you constantly think about your next drink? And finally, do you suffer from excessive anxiety or racing thoughts? If you're looking for a much more in-depth Am I an Alcoholic self-test, you can go to everydaysober.com/self-test. Go take the self-test after this video. It might help you decide if you need to take a closer look at your alcohol use. Now, I know many alcoholics. Most have taken that elevator ride of alcoholism almost all the way down. But some have gotten off long before they lost everything. It can be done. I said before that if alcohol is a problem, you need to hit rock bottom before you get sober. However, you can define where your rock bottom is. You can realize that alcohol is a problem in your life and something needs to be done now. Others may tell you that they're concerned about your drinking. Take that as a sign. They're not trying to be mean. They care about you. But you have to decide to do something about it. You're not going to get sober and start a new awesome life until you decide you have to do it. Once you make the decision, people are going to help you. There's a lot of help out there. My website, everydaysober.com, it's a great place to start with that help. I made this website to help people with alcohol problems. I'm a recovered alcoholic. I've recovered from that hopeless state of mind and insanity that active alcohol abuse causes. I was given a second chance at life by getting sober. My life is great most of the time, and when it's not, I now know how to deal with it because I can approach problems in a sober, rational way. I have many tools that I use daily to stay sober. One of my main tools is understanding that sobriety must be the most important thing in my day, without exception. Without sobriety, I'd have nothing. I know this. I've proved it to myself time and time again. When I'm not sober, my life falls apart. I've hit rock bottom, and I found a way out. You might hit rock bottom, but you can find a way out too. Remember, you can get off that elevator of alcoholism anytime, but you have to be honest, willing, and you must do the work. Accept some help. Make sobriety your top priority. I have this channel and website for one reason, to help as many alcoholics as I can. I'm also an alcoholic, and part of my recovery is to help other alcoholics. It's what I must do to stay sober. We can all help each other with our sobriety. I hope you liked this video. If so, subscribe to this channel and give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below so I can find out your concerns with sobriety and hopefully help. Check out my website, everydaysober.com, for a lot more information on getting and staying sober. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.